Eerie resurrections, mysterious characters, and record-breaking performances are all a part of James Cameron's long-awaited sequel, Avatar: The Way of Water. Here's everything you need to know about this sequel that's a decade in the making. The last two feature directorial efforts from James Cameron, Titanic and Avatar, both excelled at the box office largely thanks to opening just before Christmas weekend. It was a perfect date for countless reasons, including how it allowed these movies to flourish over multiple holidays and to play into January, a month often devoid of other big blockbusters. It's no wonder that Avatar: The Way of Water is taking a cue from Cameron's previous films in its release date. The massive blockbuster will begin playing in movie theaters everywhere on December 16, 2022. Back in 2010, when the Avatar sequels were just being laid out, James Cameron announced ambitions to get the first of these follow-ups into theaters by December 2014. The process of writing the movies proved arduous enough to necessitate a move to December 2017, before Disney settled on a December 2021 release date. The movie wasn't finished shifting around the calendar though. The COVID-19 pandemic would cause one more delay until its final December 2022 release date. Though it took so long to stick to an opening date, The Way of Water appears fully on track for a December 2022 premiere. Fans will be happy to know that Jake Sully and Neytiri will return for Avatar: The Way of Water. Both characters remain the protagonists of the sequel. The secrecy surrounding Avatar: The Way of Water means there isn't a lot of information about the characters' stories though. However, one big change for the pair that's been confirmed is that the duo will now have multiple children to take care of.
This family is our fortress.
In 2017, Sam Worthington noted that this aspect of Jake and Neytiri would be critical to The Way of Water. A central theme of the movie is family, according to the actor. Worthington also expressed excitement over the expanded scope of the movie and noted that this blockbuster will be delivering an unprecedented spectacle to moviegoers. For her part, Zoe Saldana conveyed her excitement for this follow-up by revealing to People magazine that she was moved to tears after watching footage from The Way of Water. Even if concrete details about Jake and Neytiri's respective journeys are still shrouded in mystery, the actors who portray them sure sound enthusiastic about everything this movie has to offer. In the original Avatar, Sigourney Weaver played the human being Dr. Grace Augustine, a character who perishes despite a last-ditch effort from her friends to transport her soul into her avatar body. Though such a definitive death would seem to have cut off any opportunity for Weaver to show up in Avatar: The Way of Water, it was confirmed as early as September 2011 that she would indeed be coming back for the sequel. Things became even more intriguing in 2015 when, on the Jonathan Ross show, Weaver revealed that she would be playing someone brand new in an Avatar sequel. After years of speculation, Weaver's concrete role in the movie was revealed. Weaver will be playing Jake and Neytiri's adopted teenage Na'vi daughter, Eerie. The concept of Weaver playing such a young character may sound baffling, but Weaver was well up to the challenge, explaining to Empire, "I think we all pretty much remember what we were feeling as adolescents. I certainly do. I was 5'10" or 5'11" when I was 11. I felt strongly that Kiri would feel awkward a lot of the time. She's searching for who she is. I was thrilled to be given that challenge by Jim. The universe of Avatar is so full of surprises, and few are as shocking as how Sigourney Weaver is coming back for Avatar: The Way of Water." Stephen Lang left an enormous impression on moviegoers in his performance as the nefarious human villain Miles Quaritch.
You out of your goddamn mind?
You crossed the line.
He despised the Na'vi natives of Pandora and went to many extreme lengths to pull off his mission. At the end of Avatar, it seemed like his story had drawn to a close, thanks to Neytiri plunging two massive arrows into his chest. However, as early as 2013, James Cameron made it clear that he had major plans for Quaritch in the assorted Avatar sequels. Death was not the end for this adversary, but rather the beginning of a whole new plotline. Avatar: The Way of Water will see Quaritch returning in a Na'vi body as part of a program called Recombinants, aka avatars that carry the consciousness of dead soldiers. Though he retains his memories from his human form, this incarnation of Quaritch has some new abilities to make him an extra formidable presence for the film's heroes. Lang said to Empire, "He was always a character who moved in straight lines and at right angles, but now he is as lithe as they come. He can move with the same kind of cunning and feral quality that any of the Na'vi can." After collaborating on Titanic, Kate Winslet and James Cameron are working together again in Avatar: The Way of Water. Winslet donned a motion capture suit for the sequel to play Ronal, one of the leaders of the Metkayina tribe, a collection of Na'vi who live in the oceans of Pandora. Winslet had some insight about the character when she spoke to Empire. She is strong, a warrior. Even in the face of grave danger, and with an unborn baby on board, she still joins her people and fights for what she holds most dear, her family and their home. To portray Ronal, Winslet had to film many of her scenes underwater. Doing this required her to learn how to hold her breath for prolonged periods of time. Winslet eventually got so good at it that she was able to hold her breath for 7 minutes and 14 seconds. This feat dethroned Tom Cruise's work in Mission Impossible: Rogue Nation for the record of the longest breath hold while shooting a movie underwater. Avatar: The Way of Water is chock full of actors who played characters that died in the first film. Most are either coming back in new bodies or are playing brand new characters altogether. But there's an extended shelf life for nearly all the performers of the original Avatar. A key exception to this, though, is Michelle Rodriguez, who played the pilot Trudy in the original film. Her character perished in the climactic battle of Avatar, getting wiped out by General Quaritch's warship. While the fantastical world of Avatar would seem to deliver plenty of avenues for resurrecting Trudy, Rodriguez has long confirmed she wouldn't be involved in The Way of Water.
Rogue One is hit. Going in. Sorry, Jake.
The loss of Trudy may be discouraging for fans of the first Avatar, but at least Avatar: The Way of Water won't be short on brand new human characters to help the otherworldly protagonists. James Cameron has continued to heap praise on Rodriguez in recent years, including saying that her Resident Evil performance is a key reason why he considers that video game adaptation a guilty pleasure favorite. Fans of the original Avatar will be pleased to see so many familiar faces returning for Avatar: The Way of Water. This includes Joel David Moore, who played Pandora expert Norm Spellman in the original Avatar. Meanwhile, CCH Pounder is also confirmed to be coming back as Moat, the mother of Neytiri, while Dileep Rao is returning as human scientist Dr. Max Patel. The presence of these faces ensures that Jake Sully and Neytiri will have plenty of trustworthy allies in their midst as they contend with dark forces descending on Pandora. There will also be villains from the original feature coming back for the follow-up. One of the most notable returning antagonists is Giovanni Ribisi as Parker Selfridge, who previously served as a major advocate for RDA's interest in mining Pandora's resources. Meanwhile, audiences may have seen him get trampled to death in the first Avatar, but Matt Gerald is still returning as Corporal Lyle Wainfleet. The cast for Avatar: The Way of Water is heavy on brand new characters, with many of them being children or teenagers. As part of this movie's indication of how long it's been since the first Avatar took place, there's a whole new generation of human and Na'vi characters for audiences to discover. There are several younger characters introduced in the sequel, including a trio of youngsters, Netayam, Loak, and Tuktiri, Jake and Neytiri's children. There is also a human teenager, Javier, who's in love with the biological world of Pandora. As for the new grown-ups in the story, Cliff Curtis is on hand to portray Tonowari, one of the leaders of the Metkayina people, while Edie Falco is portraying General Ardmore, a human who handles RDA's ambitions for the planet Pandora. Jermaine Clement is on board to portray marine biologist Dr. Ian Garvin, while another medical professional, Dr. Karina Moog, will be played by Michelle Yeoh. Then there's Una Chaplin, who is portraying Varang, a figure who plays an important role in Avatar: The Way of Water and all of its successors. The character is shrouded in such secrecy that it's still unknown if she's a human or a member of the Na'vi people. While there haven't been further Avatar movies in between the original film in 2009 and Avatar: The Way of Water, that doesn't mean this franchise has been in hibernation for over a decade. Avatar has continued to leave a footprint on pop culture thanks to Pandora: The World of Avatar, a land and animal kingdom at the Walt Disney World Resort that opened in May 2017. The location allowed the general public to get closer to the finer details of Pandora than ever before. Given its popularity, it shouldn't be a surprise that The Way of Water will find ways to acknowledge all that this park has contributed to the mythos of Avatar.
It's about reconnecting an audience with that almost childlike wonder and appreciation that you have for the natural world.
Talking to Inside the Magic, producer John Lando noted that the Avatar ride Flight of Passage featured the first hints of the oceans of Pandora, a landscape that will be explored in greater detail in The Way of Water. He also hinted that some of the creatures introduced in the Flight of Passage ride could make their way into The Way of Water and other Avatar sequels. Additionally, he mentioned that new mech suits that walked around the Avatar land at Animal Kingdom were inspired by designs for these outfits that will be used in Avatar: The Way of Water. These shared details between the Avatar theme park attractions and movies provide some exciting hints of what moviegoers can expect from The Way of Water. In 2009, Avatar changed the game for digital 3D. It wasn't the first movie to be presented in the format, but it was the one that got everybody to see the potential for digital 3D cinema. In the years since Avatar dominated the box office though, moviegoers and studios have fallen out of love with digital 3D. The shrinking presence of the format might lead one to wonder if Avatar: The Way of Water will take a cue from domestic IMAX locations and leave 3D behind. However, James Cameron has opted to remain loyal to this projection method by guaranteeing that Avatar: The Way of Water will be released in this format too. Not only that, but Cameron is using technological advances to further improve digital 3D projection. While talking at the Busan International Film Festival, Cameron noted that The Way of Water would be sporadically employing a higher than usual frame rate during certain spectacle-heavy sequences that will help improve the quality of the digital 3D images. It's safe to say that audiences can expect an extremely thoughtful return to the world of digital 3D cinema with Avatar: The Way of Water. The finer plot details of Avatar: The Way of Water have been kept close to the chest in the run-up to the movie's release. From a plot synopsis on the film's official website, the movie will take place over a decade after the original Avatar. It broadly talks about how this sequel will chronicle all kinds of turmoil Jake, Neytiri, and their family will face, as well as how they try to protect one another. Beyond the details outlined here, The Way of Water is confirmed to largely take place across Pandora's expansive oceans, a backdrop that will help to introduce many of the story's new characters. As for the villains of The Way of Water, they should be familiar to anyone who loves the original Avatar. The evil organization Resources Development Administration will make a return to serve as the villains of The Way of Water. The twist this go-around is that the plot of The Way of Water will see the RDA implant the spirits of dead soldiers into Na'vi bodies to create creatures called recombinants. Other new pieces of technology, like a massive 3D printing plant, will allow RDA to terrorize the heroes of The Way of Water. While many of the story details about this sequel are shrouded in mystery, what has been revealed suggests an epic scope and lots of action are in store for fans.